What's going on, everybody? My name is Michael Weir, and this is a very special day because we have a brand new movie that came to theaters, which is exciting in 2020 because not a lot of movies have come to theaters. In fact, in the past 9 months, I think I've seen 4 movies in theaters, which is crazy. I saw Inception, I saw Tenet, and I saw Halloween 2018 because it was in theaters, and then Freaky. 4 movies, that's all I've seen. And the next one coming up is Wonder Woman, and that one's like, we're going to drop it in theaters, but we're also going to drop it on HBO Max. But I'm going to be one of those people that has to go see it in theaters because I have to see it on the big screen. But we're not here to talk about Wonder Woman, HBO Max, the weird theater things, or anything else. We're here to talk about Freaky. Let's do the review. And so, guys, the movie Freaky is directed by Christopher Landon, and if you don't know, Christopher Landon also directed the movie Happy Death Day and the movie Happy Death Day, the number 2, You. Both of those movies I really enjoyed. He directed other things, but those are the 2 that I've really enjoyed. So when I heard he was directing this movie, I was like, hey, I'm on board. The next thing I found out about this movie is that Vince Vaughn was starring in this movie, and Vince Vaughn is playing a serial killer. And the best way I can describe his serial killer in this movie is if you took Jason and you took Mike Myers and you put them together and you said, okay, not only do you have all of their abilities, but you're super fast. He's not like the Flash, don't get me wrong, but he's quick. Whereas Mike Myers and Jason are always just walking behind their victims as their victims run as fast as they can and somehow they still catch them. No, this one runs after them, and it's really fun to watch. The movie also stars Kathryn Newton, and Kathryn Newton plays a sweet, innocent teenage girl who is just trying to go through the motions of her life. She's had a few things happen in her past that she just wants to kind of get past, maybe finish high school, go to college, get away from her family, and just be done with it all. But as fate would have it, those 2 characters have to meet in this movie, and when they meet, well, they switch bodies. Now, I'm not spoiling anything because all of that was in the preview. I won't give you too much more of the story. All I will tell you is that seeing Vince Vaughn as the teenage girl is absolutely hilarious, and seeing this teenage girl as Vince Vaughn's serial killer is actually a lot of fun, and I didn't know if it would be. I was like, okay, they're gonna make it like exaggerated, she has all kinds of strength. No, she actually still has the strength of a teenage girl, and so sometimes that stops her from doing some of the evil things she wants to do, or she has to accomplish them in different ways, I should say. So now that they've switched bodies, Vince Vaughn's character, the teenage girl, now has to chase down the serial killer and switch bodies with her by midnight, or they will stay that way forever, which would work perfect for the serial killer because now she has a new face and she gets to go through life continuing to be a serial killer as an unsuspecting teenage girl. And who would think that would happen? So it's a great premise. I love the idea of this movie, but I don't want to spoil any more of this movie. I don't want to give you any more plot points to this movie because, again, I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So let me jump into some things I like, some things I dislike, and I'll give you a rating. The first thing I like about this movie, well, I already kind of mentioned it, but Vince Vaughn as a serial killer at the beginning of this, I want more of that, please, and also thank you. Oh my gosh, seeing him as a serial killer is awesome. It's something I didn't know that I needed, and it's fun to watch. He goes after these teenage kids in the opening scene of this movie, kind of to demonstrate, almost like a Friday the 13th does. In the opening scene, it has, just these kids that are partying, and he goes in there and he just wrecks shop. And what the kills he does are better than I think anything I've seen out of the Friday the 13th franchise. If you can challenge me on that in the comment section down below, give me a kill that is better than anything that I saw in Freaky, and I will concede to you, but I haven't seen it. Second thing I really liked about this movie, well, I love the acting from Kathryn Newton in this movie as well. She goes from being this sweet teenage girl to this psycho serial killer, and nobody around her, she's just completely unsuspecting. So when she goes to kill somebody, they think they have the upper hand because, she's just this innocent girl. And while she is restricted, like I said before, restricted to the strength in that teenage girl's body, she does find clever ways to kill people, and the deaths are pretty gruesome and pretty awesome. Next thing I like about this movie, the comedy hits, but mostly with Vince Vaughn. Comedy it's okay with the other characters. There's 2 side characters that follow the girl around and then end up following Vince Vaughn around. And so the comedy kind of hits with those 2, but with Vince Vaughn especially, as soon as he switches gears and he's the teenage girl, I mean, from the moment he wakes up and realizes what's happened to him, hilarious. It's so funny, and he kind of thinks he knows people, and he's a sweet girl still. So, and he's also dealing with like feelings for other guys. teenage boys at the high school, and it gets to these really weird, uncomfortable, awkward moments between Vince Vaughn and these high school guys, but it's actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. So there isn't a ton I dislike about this movie. I did enjoy this movie, but one of the things I'm always going to gripe on if it's in a teen movie is the party scene. Like, why does a party scene always have to be this crazy techno, like somebody spent $100,000 on this party? It's just not reality. My point is, it's just not a thing. So I just wish they would make these school dances more realistic. They were at an old mill, and there's disco lights, and they're all drinking and having a good time. There's huge speaker systems. It's not realistic, and that always bugs me. I don't know why. That always bugs me. I do have one other gripe I want to talk to you guys about, but I don't know how well I can go into it because it is a spoilery topic. It's in the very end of the movie, so if you've seen the movie, my problem is with, I'll just say everything that happens after the ambulance ride. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it. If you want to talk about it in the comment section down below, we can. But yeah, everything that happens after the ambulance ride really just upsets me. I don't like that. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was very contained and it was good. They do something extra at the very end that I wish they hadn't done. It's just preference. At that point, I was looking at my watch like, yeah, it's getting a little long now. I wish it hadn't done that because the rest of the movie I really enjoyed. I don't know why they felt they needed that last on the movie. It was good enough up to that point, in my opinion. And so guys, with all that being said, I gotta go ahead and give the movie this rating. That's right, I think it would have been better if they had called it Freaky Friday the 13th, because it had aspects of both Freaky Friday and Friday the 13th, and it just would have been cool if they called it that. Now, probably for naming rights, they weren't allowed to. Probably somebody owns the rights to both of those properties, and somebody would have sued somebody, and this movie would have gone into development hell, and it never would have seen the light of day, so they just called it Freaky, but wink, wink, we get what you were going for. And that's my movie review. Guys, if you enjoyed this movie review, hit the like button. If you want to share this movie review with your friends, make sure that by hitting the share button so that all your friends can see it on the different platforms that you are a part of. And finally, guys, if you have seen Freaky and you want to talk about it in the comment section down below, well, let's do that. I love talking about movies with you guys. Again, we can talk some spoilers down there. It'll be a good time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.